his actions led to the WBC decide something. And we did every single possible attempt to find a resolution and to avoid.
So damn, that was quick. The WBC have stripped Shakur Stevenson after historic victory versus Teofimo Lopez in Madison Square Garden, New York City, my city. Are they trying to get back at Bud Crawford, huh? Because Bud Crawford ain't pay that sanctioning fee, huh? And he trying to what, like take it out on.
The boxing community has been left stunned after Shakur Stevenson was suddenly relieved of his WBC lightweight championship, only days after delivering what many are calling one of the most dominant showings in recent memory. Shakur didn't stay silent. In a fiery reaction, he publicly criticized the WBC, accusing the organization of unfair practices and claiming there's a deeper reason behind the decision to remove his title. Just 4 days earlier, Stevenson had put on a masterclass performance at Madison Square Garden, overwhelming Teofimo Lopez and securing his status as a 4-division world champion. But shortly after that victory, the WBC unexpectedly announced that he was being stripped of his lightweight belt, offering no clear warning or detailed explanation. The timing of the WBC's decision has sparked major debate, with many questioning whether behind-the-scenes politics and financial interests influence the outcome more than the official rules. The organization says it applies equally to every champion. But what truly intensified the controversy was Shakur's emotional outburst on social media. In a heated series of posts, he claimed the WBC had different expectations from him than what was publicly stated. His accusations have fueled speculation among fans and analysts, with some suggesting that deeper issues may exist within the sport's governing structure.
Makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is...
Before breaking down Shakur's fiery claims against the WBC, it's important to look at the sequence of events that led to this controversy, and why it has sparked such intense debate across the boxing world. On Wednesday, February 4th, only 4 days after Stevenson's dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez, the WBC issued a formal announcement stating that the lightweight championship was being declared vacant, effective immediately.
They charge him a $100,000 fee for the WBC 135 title. I don't know where the rush came from, or if it's like a jealous, envious type of thing, but I would...
In its official release, the WBC explained that because Stevenson had become the WBO super lightweight champion, and in accordance with its internal policies, the organization was vacating the lightweight title. The statement framed the move as a standard application of their rules, even congratulating Shakur on his achievements and expressing support for his future career. However, individuals close to Stevenson quickly challenged that explanation. They suggested the decision was not simply about regulations but rather about financial disagreements behind the scenes. According to several boxing insiders who requested anonymity, the WBC had reportedly been urging Shakur's team for weeks to pay sanctioning fees connected to the Lopez bout, despite the fact that it was not contested as a WBC title fight.
Thank you, or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
An individual said to be familiar with the discussions claimed that the WBC was insisting on receiving a percentage of the revenue, despite not being involved in arranging or officially sanctioning the Lopez bout. Critics have described the move as financial pressure presented as regulatory enforcement. According to people close to the situation, the demands reportedly increased in the days leading up to the fight, with repeated communications sent to Stevenson's team regarding payment. When news broke that he had been stripped of the title, Shakur reacted strongly on the social media platform X. In a series of posts that quickly spread throughout the boxing community, he openly criticized the organization and shared his version of events. In one message, Stevenson suggested he refused to hand over a six-figure payment to individuals he felt were undeserving. Instead, he stated he would rather invest that money in his daughter, Leilani, emphasizing that his priority is his family rather than what he views as questionable demands from boxing authorities.
On Shakur Stevenson, I don't know, but look, that's not going to take away of the momentum of that victory that Shakur Stevenson had. Y'all already know he became a 4-division world champion, 2-division lineal champion. But to be honest, I'd rather have Shakur Stevenson in a 140-pound division. I think
But Stevenson didn't stop with just one post. He continued sharing messages that intensified the controversy, making bold claims that have sparked serious debate about how the WBC operates. In another statement on social media, Shakur made it clear that, in his view, the organization had no involvement in the Lopez bout and was frustrated by its success. He dismissed the importance of the belt, suggesting that his reputation and accomplishments define him, not any sanctioning body's title. His comments highlighted a central issue. The Madison Square Garden matchup was contested under WBO rules, not the WBC's authority. The lightweight belt was never at stake, and the WBC did not officially organize, supervise, or sanction the event. For many analysts and longtime observers of the sport, this detail has become the focal point of the debate. Some critics argue that the situation reflects a broader pattern in boxing, where financial interests and sanctioning fees often create tension between fighters and governing organizations.
Pay people either. I'd rather keep my money to myself. Do the same thing Terrence Crawford did. It's other sanctioned bodies out there. It's other belts. It's never that serious. We know who the best is now. You see what he did to Teofimo Lopez. You've seen that. Shocking.
Sports Illustrated senior writer Chris Mannix also weighed in on the controversy, and Stevenson quickly shared his comments, signaling full agreement with the assessment. Manx pointed out a glaring inconsistency in how the WBC treats fighters, noting that the organization had issued interim belts to avoid forcing Canelo Alvarez to defend against David Benavidez. Yet, just 7 months after Stevenson defended his lightweight title against the top contender, the WBC stripped him. This comparison underscores what many view as a clear double standard. The WBC appears willing to protect its highest-earning star, Canelo, while penalizing fighters like Stevenson who lack the same leverage. The situation highlights broader concerns about the organization prioritizing money over fairness, particularly when multiple interim titles are used to circumvent mandatory defenses. Fans on social media quickly jumped into the debate, questioning whether the WBC enforces its rules fairly or selectively based on financial and political interests. One fan tweeted, expressing outrage, "The WBC shields Canelo at all costs but strips Shakur just days after his biggest career victory. This is blatant corruption, and everyone can see it." Another added, "Shakur already paid these people after his previous fight, and now they are demanding more." The WBC clearly prioritizes money over the fighters and the integrity of the sport. On the other hand, some defended the organization, arguing that rules must be applied to every champion, whether they agree or not. From Stevenson's perspective, the situation carried a more personal dimension. In another passionate post, he tied the stripping of his title to the WBC's ongoing tensions with his friend and mentor, Terrence Crawford, writing, "And I just paid these dudes after my last fight," highlighting the frustration and sense of injustice he feels toward the sanctioning body.
Him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? They ain't gonna tell me, I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am?
Shakur questioned the WBC's latest demands with a pointed social media post, asking, "What the hell am I giving y'all $100,000 for? Because y'all got beef with Bud. So come at me for it." This comment referred to his previous payment to the WBC after defending his lightweight title against William Zepeda in July 2025, a move that made the organization's new financial demands seem even more unreasonable to observers. Sources close to Stevenson confirmed that all fees for the Zepeda fight had been paid in full, fulfilling his obligations as the reigning champion at the time. Adding fuel to the fire, Stevenson's accusation that the WBC is targeting him because of ongoing tensions with his friend and mentor Terence Crawford introduces another explosive dimension to the controversy. Fans and insiders are paying close attention, especially considering that in early December 2025, just 2 months prior, the WBC stripped Crawford of his super middleweight title over allegedly unpaid sanctioning fees totaling roughly $300,000.
$100,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable, not even
In September 2025, Terence Crawford stunned the boxing world by defeating Canelo Alvarez to become the undisputed super middleweight champion, a performance widely regarded as one of the biggest upsets and most dominant showings in recent history. However, the WBC claimed that Crawford had not paid the mandatory sanctioning fees for either the Canelo bout or his previous fight against Israil Madrimov in August 2024, despite repeated reminders. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman stated at their annual convention in Bangkok that Crawford earned $50 million from the Canelo fight but allegedly refused to pay the reduced 6% fee. Crawford responded defiantly on social media, questioning the WBC's authority. What makes the WBC better than all the other sanctioning bodies? You can take the belt. He noted that other organizations, including the WBO, IBF, and WBA, had accepted his proposed payment structure. In his view, the WBC's additional demands reflected unfair treatment and appeared to be targeted specifically at him.
I think there's more attractive fights in the 140-pound division, because if you would have gone back to the lightweight division, Muay Thai will probably be the most intriguing matchup, and I don't know.
Shortly after being stripped of his title, Terence Crawford announced his retirement from boxing on December 16, 2025, stating that he had nothing left to prove in the sport. The timing of Crawford's situation and Shakur Stevenson's stripping just 2 months later has raised eyebrows, particularly given the close personal and professional relationship between the two. Crawford has long served as a mentor to Stevenson, with the pair regularly training together and developing a bond that extends beyond technique and ring skills. One gym insider, speaking anonymously, suggested, "The WBC knows how tight Bud and Shakur are. They couldn't break Bud, so now they're going after his protege to send a message about who's really in control." This perspective has gained widespread attention online, with fans highlighting the suspicious timing and striking similarities in how both champions were treated by the WBC despite their accomplishments in the ring.